greetings citizens of the world. We are anonymous. The Supreme Court ruled that people can be searched from an anonymous tip, which of course violates the Fourth Amendment. United Nations chief wants both sides to de-escalate before this crisis turns into World War III. Russia is holding drills on the Ukrainian and Russian border to send a clear message to the puppet government in Ukraine to de-escalate its attacks. The corporate-paid CIA is quietly sneaking weapons in Syria. There are reports that the rebels are preparing another big chemical weapons false flag attack. The United States Vice President goes to the Ukraine, reiterating the same idiotic comments his government has been churning out for months, namely, slandering anti-Russian rhetoric and threats of sanctions, while he shakes the hands of fascists, or those supported by fascists, who called for the deaths of Russians and Jews. Is Joe Biden completely stupid? He claimed that the USA stands with Ukraine's new leaders. What new leaders? A group who staged a putsch against the duly and legitimately elected president in February 2014. So that the United States of America stands for deposing elected governments at will. The United States of America does not believe in a democratically elected government staying in power until it is democratically replaced by a different government in a ballot box. Figures. One only has to DuckDuckGo the recent history of the USA across the globe to see that its hypocrisy is an epidemic and permanent part of its policies. Is Joe Biden completely stupid? He makes accusations against Russia, stating that Moscow is stimulating unrest in the east of the country. To make an accusation, you have to have something to back it up, some substance, some evidence, some proof. If not, you render yourself open to accusation of being a cheap-talking, slanderous gutter snipe. Is Joe Biden completely stupid? What provocation has Russia committed? Did Russia stage a coup attack in Ukraine? Did Russia organize snipers to fire at the police and then at the crowds of protesters from the 8th and 9th floors of Hotel Ukraina, where the opposition forces were camped? Did Russia chant anti-Russian slogans in Kyiv during the unrest in February? Did Russia call for the deaths of Russians and Jews? In shaking hands with those who rose to power, with this as a backdrop, does Joe Biden therefore associate himself with these acts? And if not, then where are his words of criticism? His visit to Kyiv was paramount to sitting down, knowingly, to have dinner with a murderer. John McCain went to Ukraine and stood on stage with a man accused of being an anti-Semitic neo-Nazi. Is Joe Biden completely stupid? Did Russia seize power and immediately enact anti-Russian edicts? Did Russia torture and mutilate politicians belonging to eastern Ukraine? Did Russia hold an illegal act in the Ukrainian Rada Parliament, deposing a democratically elected president and calling for his death? Did Russia break any Ukrainian law? The answer to all these questions is a resounding no. So is Joe Biden completely stupid? For Joe Biden, a humiliating threat is what exactly? Is it the martyrs of Donbas, murdered near Slavyansk by fascists sent from Kyiv? Is a humiliating threat when a sovereign nation is attacked outside the auspices of the UN Security Council, such as what happened in Iraq and Libya for example? Is a humiliating threat the overloading of a torture chamber at Abu Ghraib, where American security personnel perpetrated the most shocking acts of barbarity since the Second World War? Is a humiliating threat the act of urinating in someone's food, forcing a Muslim to eat pork, throwing snakes at a detainee, forcing detained men to dress as women and be sodomized, depriving people of sleep, and maintaining a concentration and torture camp at Abu Ghraib? Or is that all sterling behavior? Is Joe Biden completely stupid? Kyiv signed an agreement in Geneva, promising to end the violence in Ukraine. Since then, Russia has called on separatists to leave the occupied buildings, but since Russia does not control these separatists, since these separatists are Ukrainian citizens who do not want to live under a fascist putsch regime from Kyiv, and who are asking that their voices be heard, it is patently obvious that Russia does not control their actions. And if the putsch leaders in Kyiv signed the agreement to end the violence, what are fascist thugs sent from Kyiv doing? Creating martyrs in Donbas? Is Joe Biden completely stupid in stating that no nation has the right to simply grab land from another nation, then supposedly inform himself of what his country did in Serbia, where the heart of the Serbian nation, Kosovo, was pulled out and handed to Albanian terrorists, the Ushtria Slirim Kosovus? DuckDuckGo the McCain-Biden Kosovo resolution. And as regards to his statement, we will never recognize Russia's illegal occupation of Crimea, is Joe Biden completely stupid, or what? What occupation? And what illegal occupation? How legal is the government in Kyiv? You know, the fascists and Al-Qaeda wannabes, who seized power, or supported those who did. You know, the ones who called for the death of Russians and Jews. The ones that Joe Biden stood beside with, shook hands with, and smiled inanely at. How legal is a putsch? How legal is it to remove a president without using one of the 4 motives allowed by law? If Joe Biden does not understand the meaning of a democratic referendum, if he does not understand the answers to all of these questions, there are 2 apparent conclusions for that. First, he should not be the vice president of the United States, supposing someone removed him as they did with Viktor Yanukovych. And secondly, the answer to the repeated question here seems to be yes, he completely is stupid. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. To Joe Biden and the corporate corrupted United States government. We are not stupid, not like Joe Biden. The world will see how corrupted the United States government has become. Expect that.